We know that she was born in New York. She has a fairly compelling life story. She's the daughter of people who came to the mainland from Puerto Rico, grew up in the projects in the Bronx, but went on to go to Princeton University as an undergraduate. She graduated from Yale Law School. She was a prosecutor for a few years, and then she was a civil litigator. She was appointed by President Bush, the first President Bush, to the District Court of the Southern District of New York, not because she's a Republican, but because of the arrangement the New York senators had and still have, started by Senator Moynihan, to share the nomination prerogatives. And then she was nominated in 1997 for the Court of Appeals by President Clinton, and that nomination was pending for over a year. Some people say because a lot of the Republicans worried that she was an attractive Hispanic candidate, a woman, for the Supreme Court, and so they were reluctant to put her on the Court of Appeals. Well, they were right. I mean, she is an attractive candidate, and now she's been nominated. She has said that she sees the courts as obviously bound by precedent, but obviously, as a lot of other people do, sees the courts as a place where people who may not have success and may not be able to assert themselves well in other aspects of the political process might go as a refuge, not because they're going to get just a legislation, as the critics say, but because she realizes that the courts more than other institutions have to be open to the pleas of, in the case of some people who just don't assert themselves easier in the other political venues. I think you'll hear charges of judicial activism trotted out. She was quoted in a talk at Duke as saying that courts of appeals make policy, and then she quickly backtracked and said, "Oh, I know I shouldn't have said that." I don't think anybody right and left who looks at the courts of appeals think they don't make policy. Sure they do. So I think that the general line of attack, I think, will be A, that she's a liberal and she's a judicial activist, and all that whole argument will get trotted out. And two, there are some reports floating around, I don't take them too seriously, that she's fairly aggressive on the bench, questioning lawyers. I mean, you hear the term bully batted about, but on the other hand, I'm sure there are plenty of lawyers who don't hold that view, and I'm sure the administration took the seriousness of those charges into account and proceeded with the nomination. So I suspect those are the things you'll hear more than anything.